Hi, I'm Sara Orlando with WatchTime Magazine, and we're here on Mywatchlifestyle.com. I got into the watch industry sort of by accident. I had been working in a home fashion trade magazine, and I had a call from a headhunter who said that they had an ad director position opening up at WatchTime. And I said, "Watch what?" I had never heard of it. I didn't even really realize that there was such a niche market for watch magazines or niche collectors. And I went for the interview. I didn't really have high hopes. And after three interviews, I ended up being offered the position, and it took me about a year to really fully grasp the industry and all the inner workings and the brands and the histories, and I just really fell in love with it. So we feel it's important to have the brands that are from the big groups like Swatch Group, Richemont, LVMH, but there's also a whole pool of brands that are called the independents, and they would be at Baselworld and the Palace. And for me and for a lot of our editors, that's always the more exciting. That's where things are happening. That's where you see MB&F and Arnold and Son and Kari Voutilainen and all the guys, Romain Gauthier, all the guys that are down there. So I think that it's really important when you have really high-end collectors like we have to have those independent brands who really attract that really high-level collector. Of course, the larger brands like Vacheron Constantin and Elange, they attract them as well. But having brands that don't have a boutique in the city or anywhere in the country, I think is really interesting because those pieces aren't something that you can just find on Madison Avenue. They're really special. So. But we do encourage, in some cases, if it's a brand that has exquisite ladies pieces also, we encourage them to bring their spouses or girlfriends or just women that they might know that appreciate fine timepieces, and really have them come and have the same experience that the male collectors have. And I think a lot of times something just sort of clicks when they get to meet a watchmaker or just really sit with a brand representative who can explain the inner workings of the watch. I feel like a lot of women they're not, I guess, paid as much attention to in the watch field anyway, or just as consumers, or they think, oh yeah, well, they just want jewelry. But I know a lot of women are more interested in mechanical watches. So I think the more women that come to our events, I think the better. And that way that they are educated, and then when they're making purchases, they're going to maybe look beyond just like the jewelry brands that sell watches. The other thing is that a lot of people just assume that men have to buy their watches for the women. In a lot of cases, we have money too. So I bought my own watch. So I think that it's something that the marketing should always, should also sort of realize that, women are successful, and if they want to spend 5 figures for a watch, they will. But it's just, they have to know they're spending that much money on something. They have to really understand why and what the quality is. A couple of issues back, I wrote a publisher's letter, which I write for every issue of WatchTime. And I had been particularly inspired by the women in the industry. My colleagues, we have several females on our staff, but also women in the industry who just kick ass. And I'm just very inspired by the women who are running brands and running marketing departments, running sales departments. And I think that they should get a shout out because it is such a male dominant industry, but a lot of the decisions are being made by women. So I think that we need to sort of shine a spotlight on women. Digital presence and social media, print is still our flagship. But I think the area where I see the most room for growth is really events. So events like WatchTime New York, we're definitely looking to organize the same event at Gotham Hall again, and we're looking to maybe expand onto the West Coast. I think the more that we can connect the brands with the collectors, I think the more activations that we have around the country, almost being a matchmaker for the brands and the collectors. I think that is probably our strongest asset, because we have the audience, they have the watches, and we bring them together and then hopefully sell some watches. So that's something I think to maybe look for. We're also looking to do more regional events. So we have next month on November 10th, WatchTime Miami at Design District launching for the first time. And that is really designed to drive traffic to the Design District in Miami, which is a new luxury retail area.